Welcome back to the channel. I'm back again with part 2 of the 1/72nd scale real space rocket series from Horizon Models, and this time we're talking all about the Mercury Redstone rocket. And again, this is in 1/72nd, and fantastic looking box art. Here you see the front side of it, and what's really nice is the back also covers as a decal guide, so you can make any of the Mercury Redstone missions. All 6 of them they come with, so it contains both the parts and the decals to make it, which of course includes Freedom 7 and Liberty 7, so you know, some very famous missions. So an excellent well-made box, made in Australia. Shipped here quite well from our good friends at Horizon Models. So let's get into the goodies. So I'm going to start this time with the instructions, the decal, and the Photoetch. So we'll start with the decals first. You get some very nice looking micro scale printed decals. These are just absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, nothing really much to talk about, but you get the black and white striping, a lot of stencils. They look in very good shape. I see on the capsule here, you see it's even slightly curved to accommodate the capsule, and there's obviously some white decals as well. So yeah, this looks very nice looking. So that's the decals. Moving on, we have the Photoetch, 2 very nice sheets, both individually bagged. So we'll just try and cover off that one first. Pretty good shape, as you see. These are mostly some of the capsule parts. And then here's some other parts as well. Pretty nice looking. I've really been enjoying starting to go through some of the real space stuff. There's quite a large group of people who actually like it, and there's quite a few manufacturers starting to realize, but Horizon Models been leading this from a while. So basically, this is the instructions. It talks about the Redstone booster. So it's 83 feet in length, 5 feet in diameter, with a 12-foot span. Wingspan, rocket span, whatever you want to say. This had a Rocketdyne A7 engine rated at 78,000 pounds of thrust, and it used ethyl alcohol and liquid oxygen. And again, this includes, you know, we talk about Alan B. Shepard. On May 5th, 1961, he became the first American to fly into space aboard a Mercury spacecraft boosted by this rocket, Freedom 7. And then also John Grissom on Liberty Bell. He became the second a few months later. On Liberty Bell 7 became the second American to fly into space. So that's quite good. So again, you do have a total of 6 missions. One was aborted, but they just before launch, but they basically the mission was aborted due to an electrical fault, and then they just launched it as MR-1A, slightly less than a month later. This also includes the 3rd mission, MR2, included Han the Chimp. He was the first monkey in space, shall we say. So again, you have all the decal options for that. Now, let's just zoom in here, and we will have a look. Again, some fine quality instructions, good details. You get a basic color guide up top there. The assembly goes fairly well. You'll see in a minute with the basic sprues. But basically, good detail. They give you some instructions specifically about certain things, depending what version you're doing. You are going to have to decide what version you want to build, because there is a lot of individual customization, shall we say, to do this. And then, of course, we've got the Photoetch here on the launch stand. They talk about the overall airframe assembly, some of the thruster rockets, and then, of course, the capsule. There's various decals and detailing you'll use for the Photoetch for the actual capsule part. This is the boilerplate capsule. It talks about that, and it talks about how it all fits in depending on which capsule you're going to do. Last but not least is starting the decal guides. So we have the stencil guides here. And again, some notes talking about MR numbers, which refers to the Redstone rocket, not the mission numbers. And then we've got, again, some more of the decal guides telling you how exactly you want to, if you want to do it. So they talk about some of the various steps there for the various schemes, depending on which mission you're going to do. I'm going to do one of the manned ones. I haven't decided which one myself, whether I'm going to do Alan Shepard or Gus Grissom yet, but we'll see what happens. And then last but not least, we have a full-on instructions for assembly, the individual parts. There is the odd part that is not used because there's some duplicates in the edge, and we'll see. But you know what's neat? Even the Photoetch part, they've got a full detailing what it is, like capsule skin, recovery compartment, escape tower straps, etc. So some very good detail here. All right, let's move on to what you really want to see, which are the sprues. So the sprues, there's 3. You basically get 2 identical sprues for the rocket itself, and then a separate sprue for some of the things, stuff for like a stand and things like that. Some of these parts will not be used because they were used for previous kits, but basically very fine quality and crisp molding. Once again, here's the capsule itself, and then there's some optional skins you can put on it. And then we also have some of the top assembly, some of the more detail pieces, etc. So again, the quality is quite good, quite a lot of detail. Some very fine little parts here, which will be interesting to see if how well they come out of the gates. Very fine there. You see there's these 3 of them there, and there's some there. So we'll see how easily those come out of the gates when we start assembling. And then, as I say, you do then get 2 identical of this. This is the Redstone rocket itself, because they've had other boxings of this rocket, so they're basically reusing this, which makes sense. So you've got the launch stand, the bottom section, the top section. This is, I assume, where the capsule would go on, etc., etc. Again, some very fine detail moldings here. You're going to have to take extra caution, I think, when getting those off. But pretty straightforward, pretty low part count. I think it's just a matter of take your time and, have fun with it, which is what modeling's all about. So as I say, this is the Mercury Redstone in 1/72 scale. You can get them today from horizonmodels.com, horizon-models.com out of Australia. I'd like to thank Tony for sending me this review sample. And so it's quite good. I definitely recommend it. So that's about it for the review. As always, don't forget to check out the website, scalemodelpodcast.com. You can get the podcast at all your favorite spots where you get podcasts. We have a Facebook page at facebook.com/Scale Model Podcast, and of course a Patreon page if you wish to support us financially at patreon.com/Scale Model Podcast. All right, so that's it for this one. Thank you once again. Stay safe and be well.